I don't want to talk about this. This is what, again, everybody else talks about. But I do want to talk about what happens right here and what we can call maybe the valley of agency death. People, when they do their videos, they're talking to people who are right here when it comes to growing their agency. They're talking about getting clients. They're talking about making your first couple bucks. I want to talk about what happens when you try and go from here to here. Okay, and let me tell you what those 2 points represent. In this first phase, a lot of us get in this business and we think we're gonna make money really fast. And in some cases we do, depending on the team you have, depending on the skills you come in with, and depending on the contacts you come in with. Okay, a lot of times you can go from $0 in the agency business and you can get to like $10,000 to, I don't know, $15,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Now, this sounds good, but there are expenses, okay? So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll run up and they'll stay in this area for a while and try and figure out how to get customers and figure out, hey, I need to have a niche. Hey, I need to have an offer. Hey, I need to learn some sales techniques. Most of the people who are not sales type people, they stick here a long time until they figure out that they need a partner that is good at sales. I do want to talk about what happens right here and what we can call maybe the valley of agency death. This is something that nobody talks about. And this is something that in my own agency happened for seems like 2 or 3 years before we did a couple things to fix this. So generally what happens when you get to about $10,000 to $15,000 of monthly recurring revenue in your agency, you start noticing that, hey, anytime we get to, I don't know, 20 to 30 agency clients, things between operations, churning customers, all that kind of stuff, it really starts, the wheels start to fall off. It becomes a very unfun business to be in. People are complaining. There's lots of things operationally that are just happening. And so you find yourself in the constant, like, this is the fire put out phase, right? And so you think, okay, well, in order for me to solve these problems, in order for me to grow, I'm gonna have to get from $10,000 a month to $30,000 or $40,000 a month, okay? And in order to do that, what's gonna have to happen? Well, first of all, let's talk about your team. Normally when you start an agency, it's you and maybe a partner. So that money is getting split in two, regardless, and that's just, and that, by the way, that's not talking about money for software, just overhead, we'll call it overhead, all that stuff. So you're not really splitting that much money, but you both realize, hey, we have to do something that turns this into a business, okay? So what do? Well, the first thing you do is you say, well, I need to replace all of the operational things that I'm doing when it comes to running, launching, and managing ads, okay? So you get a media buyer. And then you notice that, okay, well, when hiring this media buyer will allow me to step out of operations and maybe start doing more sales. As soon as you start getting more sales, because you're gonna add customers, okay, we're like, all right, we're adding customers, income is going up. Well, then you start getting complaints. We gotta hire a customer service rep. That's all well and good. You hire a media buyer, you have more time to go out and make more sales, you make more money, great, that sounds great. Customer service person, they're back filling complaints, solving people's issues. Now this person can go out and really start to build out your platform and all the new problems that you didn't know you're going to have. Here's what happens in real life. This person costs a lot of money, and so does this person. They cost a lot of money. And after about 45 days of you trying to train them, trying to get them up to speed, trying to get them to not misspell people's names whenever you're doing stuff, they quit. So they turn over. And so you're left in this constant cycle of hiring people, feeling like you solved the problem, realizing they're not trained, realizing how expensive they are, having to go and sell just to go back down into the pit of despair. The overhead required to go from here to here is not the only consideration. Or in other words, the money it takes to hire people, to train people, all that kind of stuff is not the only consideration. It's the amount of new customers you're gonna have to get, it's the amount of customers you're gonna have to keep. It's this whole process, keeping people, training, all that kind of stuff. And people talk about, well, you just need systems. Okay, sounds good, I need systems. How do we solve this? Well, you're still gonna do the same buildup, all right? In 9 years of being in this business, there have been innovations in software, in technology, and in services. That's the big one that can really help save your bacon, okay? So the problems that we're solving for to go from here to here, what are they? What it took you to get there in terms of acquiring more customers, you need to be able to take yourself and be able to duplicate yourself away. Or in other words, all the other things I was doing, I need to stop doing those so I can only do sales, okay? So I continue to sell. Fulfillment and customer service, these are now things that can be handled by tools. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is, that's UpHex, okay? Why do I put UpHex there first? Because UpHex was the very first solution that we came up with to solve the media buyer hire. We no longer had to buy that media buyer, okay? That media buyer right there no longer needed because we had UpHex, okay? So instead of paying somebody $5,500 a month or more, instead of them making all these mistakes, instead of us having to manage them, we upload our preloaded campaigns, our proven campaigns into UpHex. Boom, an untrained person could launch them in 30 seconds, or we could have our clients do them. The next thing that we did was we installed 2 services, okay? Client Support Pros. Okay, so if we talk about customer service, in order to bring somebody on and have a really awesome experience, we need a person that is highly trained, highly skilled, and that can interface or one-on-one with our new customers when they onboard and when they need direct one-on-one help. Now, they don't always need direct one-on-one help. So here's how we delineate between the two. So customer support pros, we pay them $3,000 a month for a part-time onboarding and customer support professional, okay? Extendly, we pay them, I can't actually remember what it is, let's just say $500 a month, to handle all of our chat, email, chat, anything that is a quick fix. For the bulk of our requests over time are not going to be person to person. Maybe in the first 90 days, the customer service department will be more face to face. But as customers use our platform and become familiar and comfortable with us, they'll feel comfortable having their problem solved more by chat, okay? Now here's the amazing part about what we've done here. Yes, we've incurred costs. So the max you're gonna pay for UpHex is $497, okay? So for $497, and then $3,000, and then I think that's, $500-ish. So for about $4,000, you will have trained, qualified, ready to go people that will solve all and plug all of the gaps that you have going from here to here. That will allow you to go out and focus on acquisition. And acquisition or sales is what you will need to get to this 30 to 40 range, okay? This is the next one. And then after this, it's duplicating yourself in the sales process. If you want to get to, $1 million or 1 million annual recurring revenue. Today, what we have in terms of tools and solutions is crazy compared to what we had before. So in the next 2024, I'm going to be breaking these down and doing more content. This to me is what I call a lifestyle agency. And the big takeaway from a lifestyle agency is one thing, a focus on efficiency so we can maintain profit margins. Most of the time, when we get to this point in the agency game and we start hiring, our profit margins shrink. So we may have started with 50% profit margins, but now we're down to 15 to 20% profit margins. And all of a sudden, the lifestyle, the fun, everything that we started when we did this agency game, it's all done. So in the next several months, I'm going to be putting out content, breaking this down and talking about implementing this in your agency. But this, my friends, these are the tools. This is the opportunity that exists today. So thanks for watching. See ya on the next video.